Gold and silver are moving very quickly, breaking out over key resistance. Let's take a look at the gold, silver, and platinum prices today. And also, challenge accepted. We've had a comment on one of my posts just recently. I'll answer that. Do I think I might be able to predict some future prices based on historical charts? I think I've got a little bit of a challenge going on. Use the time codes below to go to that part straight away if you're watching the replay. But look, if you're watching this live, you get to enjoy everything we do here at Good Morning Stackers. An extra one. Grab your beverage, because we're going to do the synchronized slurp. That's what we do in the first 1 minute of the show to wait for everyone to come in. You grab a tasty beverage of your choice. I don't care what it is. Within the first 1 minute of the show, we slurp it synchronously. The rule is you must do it audibly. It's an honor system here at the GMS family. Hit the big red subscribe button. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Oh, how are you feeling all this morning? We'll do some shout outs, etc., do my quick plugs and all that sort of stuff. How are you feeling this morning? You feeling a little bit extra because the silver and gold prices, not necessarily platinum, but we'll get to that. Silver and gold have seen a big move quickly yesterday and overnight as well over some key resistance. We'll take a look at those first. We'll do that today after my shout outs and my quick plugs. And then again, we'll be answering a question that we just had. And it was a very fair question, something I've been thinking about for a while. And I think I'm going to set myself a challenge and we'll see what happens. But of course, first we do some quick shout outs. Get yourselves into the show. Oh, very interesting. People, hit the big red subscribe button and of course, hit the thumbs up button because I need that for the algorithm. Pete Repeat says, GMS Laurie Williams is back in the house. GMS happy slurping with the main man. Well, my name is Joe Main. I have worked in the precious metals industry here in Australia for 11 years, been a stacker for longer than that, and now I do this show every weekday morning about gold, silver, platinum, all economic bullion kind of stuff. And I help your business or a business you work for launch and grow on social media, particularly YouTube channels, but any other Instagram, Facebook, the whole kit and caboodle, because I've been doing this for businesses for a long time, and I give you the skills. I have a 10-week course. It costs you money, of course, but, we do a discovery call. We see if it actually works for your business. It probably does. And then I help you, and then you start helping yourself. I teach you how to fish, if that makes sense. And I'm already doing it very successfully for a couple of clients already. So one in particular happens to be, and what a great segue as well, while I wait for other people to come in, one of those clients happens to be Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, and they also happen to be my brand partner here, my preferred bullion dealer. They launched at the start of May to a great fanfare. They did 30 days of specials, and now they're doing weekly specials and unboxing videos, and in particular, they're doing great educational content, which I've been helping them teach them the skills of how to do that, and they're really knocking it out of the park. But they are Australia's first dealer to offer free shipping on buying any kind of volume. So buy over a certain amount and you get free shipping. No business in Australia was doing that ever previously. None. Zero. Unless you're talking about little private sales between, say, Gold and Silver Stacker Australia group members, pay X and I'll give you free shipping. But no actual main bullion dealer, big bullion dealers have been offering free shipping until now at Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au. Speaking of them, I would love for you to head over to their YouTube channel. So go to YouTube and just search Perth Bullion Exchange and you'll find their channel. It's really easy because look at their videos. They're shorts and now look at this, 300, 400 views, and one of their recent videos, educational, 1.9 thousand views, 554 views within the first 24 hours of it coming out. So they're learning the tricks, the tools of the trade to create consistently engaging content. And then when you build it, eventually the YouTube algorithm goes, this particular YouTube channel, they're trying to do it right. And so I'm going to push them out there and let's see what happens. So if your content is good and if you do it consistently enough, the YouTube algorithm goes, I know what they're trying to do. I'll give them a helping hand. And then that helps build your customer base. A whole bunch of new subscribers, a whole bunch of new eyes to this company have happened just for having a YouTube channel, which they, have learning the skills to produce good content. So come and see me if you want to learn more about that. And if you want to learn more about that, head over to instagram.com/itsjoemain, instagram.com/itsjoemain, free content. I haven't got the screenshot there blah, 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 blah. All that stuff. Tony Peterson is in the house. GMS. Ben Ferrugia says, happy Friday, Stackers. Happy Friday, everyone. We're at the close of the week. Nearly. CT from the Lone Star State says, it's warm summer solstice today. Ah, great. There you go. It's cold here. Other side of the world, it is winter, my friend. Unfortunately, we never get to experience a winter Christmas here in Australia. It's like barbecues and hot weather and blah, blah, blah. I have spent a Christmas time in New York. So I got to experience that. That was cool. I got to experience a great Thanksgiving as well. It was just such a great time with friends. So Knackers O'Reilly, yo, yo, yo. Tony, the main man, great wordplay there, Laurie. If I had a dollar for every time someone said to me over the last, well, I'd say 30-something years, the main man, I'd have a bit of cash. I'd have a bit of spare dry powder for the next gold and silver dip potentially. The Don is in the house. Welcome, the Don. He is back again, and yes, it's the winter solstice for us today because summer solstice, winter solstice. Of course, that lines up right there. And Hazza is in the house. Let's see. Does the DJ air horn work? I can't hear it, but I think that worked. Just so you know, at the end of the show when I play the theme song, I have no idea. Oh, I do know whether it's coming through because I see it on the sound effects. There we go. So, people, let's talk about gold and silver, etc., having their breakouts overnight. And so we'll go straight to the charts, and then we'll talk about later on. I'm going to show a little post from someone who just made a comment on one of the posts I just did this morning, and I think I'm going to set a challenge for myself. And I've been wanting to do this for a while, but let me lower this down. I want the lighting to be a little bit better. There we go. How's the hair? Looking good? Great, fantastic. All right, people, let's do gold first, then we'll do silver, then we'll do platinum, whatever. But it has moved a little bit too, but we'll take a look at gold and silver. And what I'd also like you to do while I'm doing this, some of you just like to tune in and hear the weather report. You might be doing other things as well on your day, but because I don't have a very specific topic today, do you have any questions for me? Anything about economic stuff? Any just personal questions? I'll answer something personal if I want to. Anything about working in the bullion industry? Anything about anything? Get your comments below and I'll read those out and I'll try my best to answer those too. Here we go. Sharing the screen. This is gold on the daily time frame, priced in US dollars, $2,360 or $59.80. What have we been talking about? Yesterday, where were we? We're at $2,330, around about there. So we had just opened the day yesterday. We're a little bit green. And of course, I had been talking about, I think I titled the video something about, I didn't mention gold, but I said silver. I said silver turnaround, ? And we're talking, but I'll talk about the silver in just a second. I'll get to that. But gold, I was also talking about where we're ranging. It was good to see that we were looking green. We were looking green on the weekly time frame. So we'd gone back into green. And I was saying, okay, that's looking positive. But what I need to see is I need to see it break above this trend line and then close a day above this trend line. And I said preferably above 2,350. And what did we do in the next 24 hours? I didn't say it was going to happen in the next 24 hours, just so you know. I wasn't saying, I just said what I would need to see and whenever that would happen. But it just so happened to happen in the last 24 hours. So there you go. Broken this downtrend line. So it's very positive to see. Does it mean we're out of the woods yet? No, not yet. I need to see it hold. Probably on the weekly, preferably. At least. But it's great to see that we have broken up and we closed not only above this downtrend line, but we closed above 2,350. So it's a great sign that we might be moving up to the final hurdle of 2,400 US dollars, which is my final hurdle for new all-time highs to come really soon. So once we close, I would say once we close a week or a month above 2,400, then I'm saying, oh, new all-time highs are coming imminently in weeks and months, not 6 months or a year. Okay, that's the big hurdle for me. So it's great we're moving in that direction. And the thing I was saying was got to break this trend line and got to break and hold 2,350. We've done that. So great start. What I need to see is I need to see it continue to hold for, well, at least close this week above it. That would be preferable. And what I've said a lot of the time, and what happens a lot of the time, not every single time, but more often than not. And so I'm not saying it's going to happen, but once you break a key area, you do tend to come and revisit the trend line again as a little test to go, was that a real thing? Are the buyers really more in control of the market? I'm just going to try and shake out a few people and let's see what happens. That's kind of, if the market could speak, that's what the market would say, in my humble opinion. So I do think more likely than not, it's usually more than a 50% chance, and it might not happen, but more than a 50% chance, you'll see a retest. And what you want to see, and what you actually really healthily want to see, is a retest of here. So that could come down to anywhere, let's call it 2,345. If it happens today, then it's about there, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it happens in the next couple of days, if it doesn't happen for a few days or till the opening of next week, then you could be all the way down to 2,335. So maybe a $10 window. Man, what's $10 in the grand scheme of things? But just out of interest. So more often than not, you will see a retest, but we might not. But if we do see that retest, I want to see a bounce off it and then a close back above 2,350. Or the other side of the coin is we just continue up for a few days, and maybe we test 2,400, but then we come back and have a retest of this downtrend line on a longer term time frame. Say, for example, instead of on the daily, maybe you have it potentially on the weekly, where you come up here, but then for a couple of weeks you have some downward movement, and everyone thinks, no, it's over, but really it's a test of this trend line. So that's a potential, but really to be healthy in the market, retest and a hold above 2,350, and then we just slowly move up. And I would suggest it's quite likely the next time that we hit or we start testing 2,400 as resistance, the more likely it is to be taken out. Let's see. Obviously, what would negate all this? Breaking below and holding a daily, closing daily below this trend line. Right there. Below there, I'm like, that's a failed move. And oftentimes from a failed move can come a fast move in the opposite direction. So just watch out for that. And of course, if you don't want to watch out for it, you can just watch the daily show, because every weekday you get me updating you. So why check the charts yourself? Just subscribe to the channel and I'll do it all for you. Don't do your own research, just listen to me. No, that's not financial advice. But you can see here on the daily time frame, of course, the double top here on the relative strength index, we started moving down. We had that movement. It was a failed move, created this trend line right here. Look at this, interesting. And it created this little mini trend line right here. And on the relative strength index, because I do find that to be, I find the relative strength index to be quite predictive, but we'll talk about that later. We had this downtrend line, which was broken, and then we just broke this downtrend line too. So you could come back, a test, again, a retest is probable, and I would say that this area here lines up with the 2400 up here. So that's pretty much it for gold. Great to see, and I've talked about those levels that we need to hold and the final hurdle of 2400. I don't think we're in head and shoulders territory anymore, because I think we've seen a break above here. I mean, I could be absolutely wrong, of course, but left shoulder, head, this looked like it was becoming the right shoulder, and then it didn't play out. It was a failed move, so then we had a fast move to the opposite direction. Now that we've broken this and we've closed in a day above it, I don't think that's a head and shoulders pattern playing out, unless you see left shoulder, head, and this whole thing here is the right shoulder. Yeah, maybe. So I'm going to have to stay with now. I have to change while we're above 2,350. I have to change my 70% chance of hitting my best buy zone between 2250 and 2150. I have to put that back just to a 50-50 chance. So while we're above 2350, and we could just sail back down below it in the next couple of days, but while we're above it, 50% chance we hit my best buy zone. So I'll go back to 50-50 on the fence there. But that remains to be seen depending on what the price does. That is gold. Let's take a look at silver. Oh, sweet silver. Sweet baby Jesus. Look at this. So as opposed to gold, where it seems like the head and shoulders pattern has not taken effect, but I'm like, possibly. No head and shoulders pattern happening here now on the silver price. For me, that price has been, that head and shoulders pattern has been completely blown out of the water by this move back over this trend line. And the fact that we've just gone left head, and we haven't even come down to here yet before having this breakout, tells me, geez, it's looking good for silver. I think so long as we can stay over this, as long as we stay over 29.80, I would really say. So this is great to see, really positive for silver. And we'll take a look at the gold to silver ratio. So I'm actually much more positive for silver than I am for gold. But will change my, no, I'll go to 50-50. I'll change my, yeah. I'm probably being really conservative here, but I am changing my 70% chance we hit my best buy zone of 28 to 26. I'll change it back to 50-50. I kind of want to go, less than 50%, but let's see what the close of this week does. But there is no head and shoulders pattern happening here now. So what you would see with a head and shoulders pattern is you would see this left shoulder, head, and you would have to come down to probably at least in the best buy zone first, and then have a retrace and then down to say that's a head and shoulders. But we've just broken through that. I don't think we're in head and shoulders anymore. That pattern has not played out. So that's very good news for silver. And you can also see that in the gold to silver ratio, which we'll take because that's been like that. So we'll just quickly do a little bit here. $30.75 US cents, again, tradingview.com website. Same thing, broke out of the downtrend line. We broke out of 29.80. Here we're just hovering around 29.80. And this is where I said silver turnaround with a question mark. And I did the day before or the day before that, I was saying, gold and silver showing some strength as well. So it was looking positive, but I just needed to see it break 29.80 and hold a daily time frame above it. Well, geez, we certainly saw that, and breaking above this as well. And that's what I've been talking about. So really positive. Same thing though, just be aware of a potential retest of this downtrend line. I don't think, I would say, a retest of this downtrend line and a finding support there is preferable. I would say anywhere down to 29.80, and I'd still say, so we're still looking positive. So even if we break for silver, this is different to gold, but for silver, if we break a day below this trend line, as long as we don't close a day below 29.80, then I'm saying, look, you break out of 29.80, previous resistance, you come back and test it as support, that's fine and par for course. But preferably to say new all-time highs coming really soon. Preferably you want to see just this trend line retested and then a bounce off there, which would then mean we make a play for the final hurdle of $31 US right there. It's my big final hurdle that we have broken above, but we haven't closed a month above it just yet. If you're one of my new 6 subscribers overnight, so welcome to all the newbies, I have been talking about when we close any single month, whenever it is, we close the month above $31 US. So it has to be a green candle close, not a wick, but a solid green above 31. Then I'm saying, bingo, bang, and bongo, we are 100% bull market. No questions asked, in my opinion. We're not heading massively down here. We're not in a downwards direction. It's not a bear market. This is not just a little consolidation. We're not 99% there. I'm 100% there. And then we'll be talking about the higher prices and all that. I'm just not there yet. I'm 99% sure we're in a bull market. It's pretty damn obvious to most people, but I just need that little confirmation. Why? It's a very, very key Fibonacci level from a very old high and a very old low, which I don't have drawn in at the moment. Oh, yes, I do. Right there. Old high, old low, key Fibonacci level right there. It's the 0.618. You can't really see it. Sorry, people. I'll just get in. Can you see that? There's too many lines. 0.618 at $31 US. It's very key. 0.618 Fibonacci from an old high and an old low. Incredibly key. And it's remained as support and a bit of resistance as well. So that is the key one. But we're looking really positive. Sorry for all the motion sickness right there. It's looking really positive. So silver looking more positive than gold. I'm still positive for gold. Just got to see those levels remain for gold, and those are my levels for silver. When we close a month above 31, then I'll do the blue sky thinking, let's look at the next levels. I've done them before, but I won't do that yet. Just got to see that 31 close June or any month above it. And we're not that far away from the end of the month. So I must say it's looking more likely at this stage. Let's see what happens in the next 24 hours and the close of this week as well. That's silver, looking great. Great to see the breakout. And finally, platinum has not done what gold and silver has done overnight. It just had a little bit of just ranged a little bit. So for platinum, just remain in depression mode while we're under this level right here. I'll start to get like, yeah, whatever. Okay, yeah, not depressed, but not happy. When we're in this zone right here, and when we break out of here, then I start to get excited. And of course, all of you know, except my new subscribers, and I'll tell you right now, $1,115 US is my final hurdle. That if we close any month above 1,115, that's bull market territory, new bull market, higher prices coming up and down. But over the long term, you know, a year to come, a couple of years, few years to come, I would say absolute bull market for platinum, and you know, get in while the getting's good, in my humble opinion. But we're not out of the woods just yet. And just watch out, we're still within the zone of my best buy zone. So do watch out for that. If we see a break of 950, then watch out for my best buy zone area, 900 to 750. I'm still going to say a 70% chance. No, I'm still a 50-50 chance at the moment. I'm still a 50-50 chance of, because I said that yesterday, of hitting my best buy zone. But we're still within this area here, this symmetrical triangle pattern. So I'm still technically have to be depressed for platinum. That is gold, that is silver, that is platinum. Let's look at the gold to silver ratio, which I said I would look at. Sorry. As I said, does this mean anything? No. Am I saying it's blah, blah, blah? No. Am I saying I'm the best? Yes. No. I'm not saying the best, but it's very obvious. I had been talking about, and it has absolutely come to fruition 100%. Before it happened, I did say, watch for, when we were down here on the daily time frame, this is the weekly right now on the relative strength index, we're at 76.7 on the gold to silver ratio. I said when we were down here, we were forming a bottom. We closed that on the weekly, then we spiked above it. And on the daily time frame, I had been saying, look at this, double bottom, bottom on the relative strength index, even though we broke down through this key level of 75, which I had drawn in. This is the gold to silver ratio, measuring gold against silver. As this goes up, gold's outperforming silver. As it goes down, silver is outperforming gold. Even though we posted a lower low, I saw the double bottom right here on the relative strength index, and I went, ooh, that's interesting, double bottom. Usually you're not going to go all the way down here and extremely oversold. So I think and we were already ticking up a little bit too. We were still below 75, but I said, look at that tick up right there. This is 1 or 2 weeks ago, and I said, looks like a double bottom. I think gold will be taking center stage for a couple of weeks. And I said, watch out for a resistance level of 80, which was a previous resistance level. And I also said, watch out for this long-term downtrend line right here. And it happened to coincide right bang on. And I said, watch out for this confluence between this level, sorry to move it around, this level of 80, which was a previous support level, and the top end, this downtrend line. I said it could coincide around about here. And we coincided around about there. I'm going to take that win. I'm going to take it. Sorry. Big props to me. Does it mean I'm always right? Absolutely not. But I'm going to take the little wins when I can take them. So, you know, obviously I'm going to take the wins and I'm going to ignore my losses. No, I'll try to be, very honest. And I do, a lot of the time I do say no. And you've heard me say, no, I was wrong there. I didn't get that right and all that kind of stuff. So, but very clear resistance level right there at 80. And we've seen just with the gold to silver, with gold going up, but silver going up at a higher percentage, we've seen silver, as I said, outperform, as suggested it would be a resistance level. We've seen silver outperform gold in the last couple of days, and we've broken back down that key level, which I had drawn in at 78. I said, watch out for this level. If that's broken, you'll see a fast move to the downside. We saw a fast move to the downside so far. Gee, it looks like we could be making a play again for this 75 level. If 75 is taken out again, I'm telling you, all bets are on silver versus gold. The only thing I would say which could negate that, and can you see this? I can certainly see it. Because I do think people play the gold, a lot of whales. I think whales watch the gold to silver ratio. So watch this little thing right here. Am I saying it's going to be a thing? No, but just watch out for it here. We're not below this. This sounds a little weird because we're going through this low, but just bear in mind, you never know. You might find a little bit of support on the gold to silver ratio at around about the 76.3 area, at around about there. That could be a little bounce off and then maybe a retest of 78. and then we see what happens with this. You might see a little bounce, and then up to here is resistance, and then from there we don't know. But if we do close a day below here, then I'm going to say absolutely heading to 75, and very likely we break 75 in the next couple of weeks if we do that. So just keep that little uptrend line in the back of your mind. Let's see, relative strength index on the weekly time frame. Look, we're trending down, so it looks more likely to be taken out. Man, gold to silver ratio, wow. If silver breaks 75, then you'd be then looking for a test eventually in a number of weeks. You'd be looking at a test of down here at 70. And I'm not saying it's going there 100%, but that would be the next support level for me on the gold to silver ratio, meaning silver outperforming gold. Both gold and silver could be going down in fiat dollar currency, but just one is going down less than the other, or in the opposite direction. They could both be rocketing to the moon, but silver's going higher quicker than gold. But silver seems to be having its moment in the sun, at least in this last week. But see here, key area of support, key area of resistance. So that level of 70 will be an area to watch. Quick blue sky thinking, and I've done this before in previous videos with the gold to silver ratio. If we close a week, and particularly if we close any month at, or I wouldn't say at, I'll say below, because sometimes you can go right on the money. I would say below the 70 level, below 69 something, then I would say, wow, we are really going to be making a play. Probably for the next level of 50. You can go there's not a lot of support and resistance levels once you break 70 right here. It's pretty much getting to the halfway point, which is your next major level. Now, I'm not saying definitely going there, and it would take a long time, I think, to get there. We're talking, somewhere into, next year or even the year after, okay? But we would definitely be heading in that downward direction, because on the weekly time frame, we haven't spent time in extremely undervalued for gold, or we haven't spent extremely overvalued for silver, which is down here, for quite some time. Not since July, August of 2020, where silver was highly overvalued towards gold, or gold was highly undervalued against silver. And look on the monthly time frame, again on the relative strength index, we're on the downward slope right here, and we haven't spent any time in, again, silver being extremely overvalued towards gold since March since the peak, since the last silver peak in 2011. So we've got a lot of room to move down in terms of silver against gold. So interesting to see, back to the daily time frame, and it's very interesting to see that definite area of resistance. Yay me. Sorry, I'm going to take the little wins when I can. That is gold, that's silver, that's platinum. It's the gold to silver ratio. And watch out for all those levels that I mentioned. Let's get any quick comments, etc. Although, I will read your comments after I talk about the thing that I was going to talk about. So, time code. Let's talk about a potential challenge that I'm going to give myself, and it needs your involvement. And I've actually been thinking about this for a while, and this could completely die in the nether regions for me. I want to challenge myself to see if I can do this. I've been trying to figure out how this can work, but I have been thinking about this before, but today I'm going to set the challenge for myself to see if it even can happen, to be able to predict, take a historical chart without certain things, and then go, okay, if I look at this, this, and this, I think we're at least going in this direction. And then I check what the chart has done, and then see if my prediction was correct. I'll do that on multiple charts. But here's where the idea came from. And I had the idea for a while, but here's why I think I'm going to do it starting today, quite possibly. So I just posted here on share the screen, Joe, on the Gold and Silver Stackers Australia group, of which you must join if you're a stacker in Australia. Gold and Silver Stackers Australia forum on Facebook is a private group, so you just click to join, answer a couple of questions. You have to be Australian based as far as I'm aware, because it's Gold and Silver Stackers Australia, and you've got to follow their rules. Don't be an idiot, and all that sort of stuff. But it's the place. 8,000 members. You can do buy swap. You can sell things for free, buy swap and sell between members and all that sort of stuff. Private transactions. Be careful with dealing with people with fakes and all that stuff. But we've got a whole bunch of good, knowledgeable people on here, including myself, to help you as well. So join the Gold and Silver Stackers Australia group. But I post there every single morning before the show. I post a little tidbit to tease, and I give the live link to the show. But I said gold and silver moving quickly, both broker, blah, 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 blah. But someone posted underneath, and I'll give a big shout out to Fat Bear Bullion. And I think Fat Bear Bullion said they'd be watching today as well. They said tasty coffee ready to go. Let me see. I'll do it here instead. Can I do it here? Does that work even better? Let's see. I'll do it on the comments. No, I have to do it on... Does it work on this one? No, I'd have to do it in the comments. You can't really see the very bottom, but you can see the bottom bit. It says, always curious. If I gave you a section of chart from 5 years ago, would your predictions or chart readings show what actually did happen? Question mark. Tasty coffee ready to go. And we've had 3 people like that post as well. And I think that's a very good question. So thanks to those people who asked the question, who want to know the answer. So here is my answer, but here is also the challenge. So again, Fat Bear Bullion asks very correctly, if I gave you a section of chart from 5 years ago, would your predictions, if I looked at the chart and go, okay, well, I reckon, in a few years' time, that looks like it's trending up. For example, would these come true? So let me answer that and let me set the challenge. The short answer is, I have no bloody idea, but I have a good feeling I might be able to be better than 50%. And this is where I'm really sticking my foot in the fire here, and I could be completely wrong. And you know what? I'd be happy to be wrong, and that's okay. Just so you know, ahead of time, I have no shame. I've lost my sense of embarrassment from, quite a while ago. Doing what I've been doing as my nighttime job for 20 plus years as a front man in bands and all that sort of stuff as an entertainer. You kind of get auditioning for things, and I've done some acting, I've done some this and that. You get used to embarrassing yourself very quickly, particularly if you're trying to be a front man in a band. You just embarrass yourself every single night. But I want to challenge myself here, and I do think I might have the ability to look at a chart from previous, a section of chart, so long as I have a couple of things. And here's what I would need. I would need to see, and this is where I'm challenging you guys to provide these for me. Let's see if it works. And then I'll get to your questions that you've put in. I think, possibly, if I can see a chart, and it would have to be, number one, it would have to be a monthly chart. So each candle is worth 1 month, because it'd have to look on the long term, not just the daily or the weekly, etc. It'd have to be a monthly chart. I would also have to see the relative strength index. So I think that's all I need to know. You give me a section of chart that is a monthly chart, and that would want to be that'd be a big section. So we'd be talking, well, if each candle is a month, then you'd be talking about probably a number of years in a chart. And if I can see the relative strength index where it is at that time, I think I could reliably predict that, well, within 5 years, I think it'll be moving in this direction, or it'll move in that direction, in my opinion. Now, what I wouldn't be able to do is I don't think I'd be able to give actual price. Oh, it'll definitely hit $1,000 by the end of, that's a bit too predictive, but I think the general direction I could say, or I could even say, if I was seeing something on the relative strength index on the monthly time frame, and it looks like it was looking like it was close to a bottom, I could say, I think we've got a bit of room to move. You're probably going to go into extremely oversold on the relative strength index on the monthly, so you're probably going to see a bit of a dip, but then in a couple of years, that'll turn around, and in a few years' time, it'll be back up to higher than where it is now. At least I think I could say that in some kind of predictive nature. Again, it's definitely going to hit this point on this day or in this month or in this year. But I think the general direction, I think I could. And I think I could do that better than a 50-50 chance. So that's my challenge to you. And I'm going to challenge myself. And if I'm wrong, that's completely fine, because technical analysis, it's like the weather report anyway. Do we really know what's going to happen? Probably not. And of course, there's another caveat to your challenge. and I'll give you the email address to share your charts. The other thing is, of course, we can't account for black swan events. So I preferably, you can do what you want, but I preferably don't want you to do one of those trick ones where you're trying to trick me and then you go, ha ha, see, it went down, but that's because of a black swan, like a pandemic, or you happen to know that the CEO of the company died or got caught in some kind of scandal, and there's a big corruption or something like that. So try not to do that to me, because I really want to test my skills here if I think I can do it. Hopefully I can. So those are the rules. So what I want you to do, send me an email to gmstackers@gmail.com, gmstackers@gmail.com, and I'll give you an example of what I would want. So gmstackers@gmail.com. Let me share the screen again. Let's see if I can find some kind of, give you an indication. I'll take off now. Number one, I'll take off those for a second. So we won't do any particular chart. You won't do trend lines and things. So let's go to a monthly time frame. And obviously I'm going to pick one that you're not going to do. All right. So don't do, for example, let's not do Tesla. Let's do Tesla, for instance. And I'll just give you an example here. You seeing the screen? Yes, you are. Yeah, right here. Okay. So for example, and this is the monthly chart. You would want to check do I do monthly or weekly? Let me have a quick look. I will allow you, let's stick with monthly for now. Although if you want to do weekly, that's okay. You can do weekly too, but you have to tell me, it's the week. You have to tell me it's the weekly chart and here's the relative strength index. But preferably I want monthly. But for example, you could take a section. You could do monthly pretty easy. You can take a section of chart and you would do, say, something like that, right? You would do something like that. Let's say that, for example. And you would screenshot it, and you need to have the relative strength index. Now, if you don't know how to do all this, by the way, if you're using the tradingview.com website or other, just get the relative strength index. If you're using the tradingview.com website, you go up here to indicators, you click on it, and then you just type in RSI, and it should be the very first one. Unless you have favorites. So relative strength index, and click on it, and then close out of it. And then it's putting a second one there for me. So I'll just undo that. But that's how you get the relative strength index on the monthly time frame. Then you would screenshot this. Then what I want you to do is two things. Obviously, I want you to cover up this, and I want you to cover up any pricing as well. Because if I see pricing, I might be able to go, that looks like the silver chart. Then I could cheat and look at the silver chart, right? I could know that that's the silver chart, or I could look and know that that's and you want to cover up the years as well. Sorry. So you want to cover up the years, and you want to so basically what you want to do is you want to get a screenshot of, you could just do this. You could just do the screenshot from under here to here and not include the prices and not include the year. But I need to see the relative strength index clearly. So then what I would do is I would go, okay, look here, we're seeing that. That's looking, all right. So there, resistance, okay, resistance, support, okay, relative strength index. We've already been in extremely overbought. We're here. We haven't been in extremely oversold. So what I would, and I might say, we found a bit of support here. It looks like you could find a bounce there, but more likely you might see a move down further on the monthly time frame. So you might see some lower prices, and so then I'll give my prediction like that. But don't do the Tesla chart because it's already been done. So do that, and let's see. And I want a whole bunch of them. So I want a whole bunch of you. One of you can do a whole bunch of different charts. Because I want as many as possible, because the more data we have, if we just do one and I get it wrong, okay, or if I get it right, you can't say, haha, we just did one. I want like 10, 20. I'll try and do them all live in the one go, and I'll just do it sort of rapid fire, and let's just see how I go. If it's 50-50, then it's 50-50. But if I'm kind of like 60-40 or 70-30, and they're like, all right, this guy's got something. So that's my challenge to you. Send me that kind of screenshot. Could be any kind of chart, any commodity, any whatever. But again, those things, I must have the relative strength index. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking at the chart, obviously, and I don't want to see the prices, and I don't want to see the name of the thing, obviously. And don't try and trick me and do like a black swan event. Haha. This was before COVID, and then COVID happened, or, the CEO died or whatever. So that's my challenge, and send it to gmstackers@gmail.com. All right, finally, we will do your comments and your queries, and we'll get out of here because we've got stuff to do. You lazy mongrels, get back to work. Let's see right here, and welcome to everyone watching from Silver DGen Club and Wall Street Silver. Tony Peterson says the Stackers meetup should be in Cairns. Not in winter, absolutely sure. Once what we're talking about, the Stackers meetup, once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're at 346. So we're not there yet. I've only been doing this for less than 2 months, or around about, I think this is my 8th week. I don't know, 8th or 9th week. 346 subscribers as of right now. Kicking goals, hit the big red subscribe button. But once we hit 1,000, I think I'm going to, well, at least we'll start talking about maybe a Good Morning Stackers meetup somewhere. Yeah, I'm not coming to Cairns, particularly if it's going to be, if I don't hit 1,000 subscribers until the summer, I ain't coming to Cairns. I will tell you that much. Not to the top end. No chance. I'm a Melbourne boy, born and bred. I like my chilly weather. Okay? I don't like being uncomfortable. CT says halfway for me is about Honolulu. Yeah, let's go to Honolulu, people. That's all expenses paid on you, not on me. Honolulu would be amazing. Could write the meet. Did anyone see that? No, I don't think they did. I don't think you saw that. Here's a question from CT from the Lone Star State in Texas. Joe, what do bullion dealers use to get rid of milk spots? We don't. Is the short answer. We don't get rid of milk spots. But you can, I know, bullion dealers don't clean coins, and they shouldn't clean coins. We don't clean coins. Bullion dealers don't. Number one, and I've talked about this before, but number one, well, we're busy enough to not have to clean. We don't want to clean coins because we're not going to try and sell them as brand new anyway. If they've got milk spotted, there's no way you can get them to look brand new and try and sell them as brand new. By the way, I'm going to be doing that reminds me. I'll be doing soon, not tomorrow, maybe next week, but soon I'll be doing a secrets of the bullion dealers that you want to know or that you didn't know. Secrets of bullion dealers. The things that you didn't know, and that might include talking about buybacks and brand new. But no, we don't get rid of milk spots. And in fact, as far as I'm concerned, if you bring in a 2010 silver maple, two of them, one is pristine and one has milk spots, I'm testing the pristine one to be fake first, then I am the milk spot, because the milk spot tells me it's not fake. Because 2010 maples, milk spot, no matter what you do with them pretty much, unless you said, oh, look, I had them in an airtight container, I had them in an airtight capsule, but even then they still milk spot because of the finish, not necessarily about the air getting to them. So bullion dealers don't get rid of milk spots as far as I'm aware, unless they're trying to be sneaky, which I don't think they should do. But I don't think you can CT. Yeah, I've heard, milk spots, no, maybe you can't get rid of them. Good security. There you go. Pete Repeat says, good security feature though. Also says, I think it's a chemical residue not cleaned off properly at the production level. It etches into the metal, leaving the marks. Yep. No one really has an answer for it. Canada they use the Mint Shield with really good results. So Royal Canadian Mint have their Mint Shield technology, which now protects them from a lot of the milk spotting. You don't see a lot of milk spotting on newer maples. Now, CT says it mostly appears on sovereign coins. Fair enough. Nakas O'Reilly says silver is then a good buy now. Then I'm not going to play that game, but so you're asking me because during the analysis, is silver now a good buy rather than a few weeks down the track? I don't know. And I don't give that advice. And I would say dollar cost average and don't worry about where the price is going. And if you have a little bit of spare dry powder, you're waiting for the dip, then just wait for it's right for you. But I don't know, mate. I will tell you more when we close above $31 US on the monthly time frame for this month or any month. Then I'm saying 100% bull market. Yeah, we might still dip a bit, but you should be dollar cost averaging. Anyway, not financial advice. Pete Repeat says, yes, still happening on Perth Mint kangaroos. Yes. Mass produced by machine. Yes, so Perth Mint kangaroos, notorious for them as well. But you bring in an old manky milk spotted kangaroo, although this doesn't have milk spots, but it's tarnished. You bring in something like that from 2016, versus a shiny, pristine-looking 2016 kangaroo. Mate, I am sus on that pristine kangaroo immediately. Sus meaning suspect. Knackers, how do you respond to someone's comment with their handle? I don't know. No idea. Thanks, Tony. You could. Yep, great. Thank you, that. Tony says, I love Fat Bear Bullion. Love Fat Bear Bullion too. So it was a great comment, and I'm challenging myself with that. Send me in all those screenshots, and I'll do my best. Read those, listen to those rules that I need, though. All that stuff. Just go back. Let's see. Tony on milk spots. Use distilled water to make the paste and rinse water. Don't rub and dry off with an air dryer. Okay, there was a bit of how to get rid of milk spots. Pete Repeat says there is some silver dip stuff too. Yeah, Yankee had it on a while back. Yeah, I don't know if it gets rid of milk spots though, but maybe it does. Last questions. Yeah, bicarb baking soda is a neutralizing agent. Absolutely. And I think this is the last comment. People, I am working at the moment too on Facebook with the laptop, multitasking. Great that you're working. I've got to get back to my other job, which is helping clients launch and grow on YouTube and other social media. I have lots of clients. If you would like to be a client too, you know what to do. Hit me up with a comment and I'll send you a message, or find me on instagram.com/itsjoemain, or just email me. It's not my that side of the business's email address, but you can reach out to me at gmstackers as well and mention something about needing help with launching your business, or you're launching or growing your business's social media to get more customers, because it really, really works. I guarantee you it works. If you have the skills, if I teach you the skills of how to do it, and it's a one out of interest, it's a one-on-one Zoom conversation thing. Sometimes I'll even come to see you sometimes I'll even come out to see you, depending on where you are within Australia as well. And we have a little bit of a session, a personal session, but then it's mainly Zoom meetings. I've got a whole course that I'm already working with a number of clients on, both in the bullion industry and the non-bullion industry. It works for other businesses too. Guaranteed, people. Would I lie to you, honey? Have a good week, anyone says. The Don, yes, have a great week. Pete Repeat, bye all. Might see some of you this afternoon. Yes, of course, on the good old live show. That is it, people. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of another week of Good Morning Stackers. Hit the big red subscribe button, and let's do the final synchronized slurp. Here we go. In 3, 2,
oh yeah, we're feeling fine.
Good morning, Stackers. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. Stay informed.
Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove. Synchronized slurp. Now we're on the move.
Keep stacking and have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.
Oh yeah, we're
Be
feeling
well.
fine.